Hola! Welcome back. Welcome back to me as well. I feel like I've been away for ages. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I was over in the US for work last week. So obviously no videos last week and no progress, but I have made some progress over this weekend. I didn't film an awful lot because I was just trying to make good use of the time. But I'll give you a quick walk around the car and show you, first of all, that it's moved. So I finally managed to turn the car around. This is after I got the power steering working, not with the new pump that I was waiting on. Only when I tried to remove the actual pump, the existing pump, did I find that one of the wires had actually broken inside the connector. And that's what was stopping it working. So I clipped it off, put a new connector on, and we have power steering again. So no need to replace the pump, but it will go in the second project when I convert that one over there. Some other stuff on the outside. I've been working a bit on panel gaps. It's still not perfect by any stretch, as you can tell. That's still moving around, so I need to tighten that up. But I can now, well, I could yesterday, it's all clearly moved, open that door without it clashing with the, so it doesn't clash here anymore. It's not a completely even gap all the way down, but it doesn't contact at the back. It is still contacting at the front, which it wasn't before. So clearly some fettling to do up front. I also managed to drop this and chip this corner piece off, which I'll need to bond back on, or I can just fill, but I'll probably bond back on. But that was a bit annoying. Started fitting the side repeaters. I've gone for some progressive LED ones to fit with the sort of retro futuristic theme that will go nicely with the LED lights up front. They're off Vauxhall Movano, I think, but they're nice and simple. They're relatively cheap, so they'll go nicely. Round the back, yeah, what I didn't say was, in order to make this fit and sort these panel gaps out, I'll put a bit of footage in here. I've had this whole rear clam off, or whole rear shell off, and then sanding the back of this shut line here so that this can come back slightly. Actually, it's as much down to there being too much material here, and these are now as thin as I can make them. They're pretty much not paper thin, but they're as thin as I'd want them to be, less than a mil probably. But actually you need to sort of pull the whole frame back, not so much on this side now, but on the other side. So you need to pull the whole frame back, maybe heat this up a little bit and see if I can stretch it, because when you pull it back, it does increase the gap here. Anyway, still got a lot to do around the back here now this is turned around. I've started with the buckets. I'm actually reprinting these at the moment with my new printer to get a really nice, better finish on them to minimise the amount of sanding. Still got to do some work to relieve this bumper or shift it back in order to fit this one. So some work to do there. I still haven't totally decided whether I'm going to take a cutout out of this or try and change the mounts to shift the whole bumper back. Under the bonnet, you'll see things are looking much, much tidier. Largely finished the wiring under here now. Still a bit to go inside here and around here. And obviously got to finish putting the headlight cables up and bonding the mounting strips onto the underside of the bonnet. But tidied up all the wiring for the brake booster. This is going to be the connector to the charging port at the back, so PP and CP lines running to the back. Down here we've got the second multi-way connector going into the battery box that carries all of the signals, so that carries CAN bus and power to both the shunt and the batteries themselves. So we've got for the BMS sits here, it's inside at the moment while I work out a sort of mounting plate for it. Tidied up all of the wiring runs around here. Not particularly happy with using these here. What I really want is a big bulkhead connector, one for this run, sorry, this run here, and all this in one set of sheathing, and then one bulkhead connector here for this side. So if you like, one for drive and one for batteries and charging. Like I say, still some work to do in here. Still got to install PP detect, still got to install the relay which takes the switched ground from the BMS and turns it into a switch live to trigger run mode on the...
The missing word there is inverter. For some reason, my microphone decided to stop working at that point. And so while I hit play and watch the video along, I'll try and explain what I was going to be saying. Yeah, switch live to turn the inverter on, to trigger run mode to close the contactors, so that when you are charging, the BMS can close the contactors without triggering run mode on the relays and thereby leaving the direction switches disabled. I'm here talking about some cosmetic improvements, going to look at some vinyl stickers to go on these places, maybe a Hubner Synergy drive and EV BMW sticker on the inverter, and maybe some of my own branded stuff down here just to tidy things up. Definitely some high voltage warnings, but maybe some original, slightly more stylish ones. We shall see.
So that's where I'm at. Limited amount of time today. It's a working day and I've got shed loads on. You know, part of what's stopping me getting more videos out is just the usual family stuff. And part of it is just work. I work for myself. I take work where I can get it. And at the moment, I'm being given lots and lots of work, so I'm taking it. Got to pay for summer holidays somehow. So that will keep going. It's still going to be pretty limited up to summer. And then I'm going to take a big break in summer and come back, hopefully with more time in September. But look at the inquiry book, maybe not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.